So with the door closing on the year 2024 in the Pokemon trading card game world, heading into the year 2025, what were the best investments of the year in 2024? Now, the correct answer to that is there's just way too many to list because there's not one standout just like, oh, this was the #1 best investment. There are just so many good ones. And it's not just from an investment standpoint. There were really good pickups for people if you were a collector, if you were an investor, if you were a player. There's just so many things that were amazing to pick up in the year 2024. So in today's video, I'm going to go over 5 things that I personally invested in the year of 2024 that I picked up myself, and the reasons why I picked these up and the reasons why I do think that these are going to still be good long-term holds. So if you thought there was something awesome that you were able to pick up in the year of 2024 when it came to the Pokemon TCG, list it down in the comments section. I want to see what everybody picked up in the year 2024 because everybody's collecting, investing, and Pokemon card journey is different. So I want to see what everybody did in the year 2024. All right, so first up, let's talk about Evolving Skies booster boxes. Now, I picked up a couple of these this year. I didn't pick up as much as I wanted to, just because I didn't see any really locally, and booster boxes I don't really like to order online. I want to see them in person. I want to make sure there's no tears in the wrapping, things like that if they're for my personal collection. So this was something I did pick up a couple of. It doubled in price over the course of the year, guys. So in the mid 400s all the way up to $1,000. You see lowest listing here with an actual booster box and not just like loose booster packs here, which these people are crazy selling the loose booster packs in a size of 36 for this price. But $1,000 for booster boxes, and you even have a weird sale. I noticed this earlier. Right now it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon on New Year's Day, but you guys have a sale for $1,400 in here. I'm not too sure what that's about, but again, you have a sale for $950. You have a sale for $844. My guess is this sale at $844, since there's a picture next to it, I think this is probably loose packs, and then you have another sale at $1,000. So I do think that this still has a lot of potential in the future. Evolutions are extremely popular. They've been extremely popular for quite some time. Everybody loves the alternate arts from the set, not just the Evolutions, but the Dragonite's beautiful. Rayquaza is awesome. There are just so many good cards in this set. And I do think the fact that they are extremely hard to pull, coupled with the good artwork and popular Pokemon, just makes this a very solid investment. So if you guys were able to pick these up earlier this year, I think this was a fantastic pickup. But I do think this still has way more potential to keep running, especially with all the new people coming back to the hobby. People are very nostalgic when it comes to a lot of stuff like Pokemon 151 or the original Kanto Pokemon Evolutions. But then you also have people from the XY era too that kind of came in to Pokemon during the XY era, during when Pokemon Go came out. So I do think for a lot of people, I think XY could potentially be their nostalgic factor for Pokemon. So it's not always Kanto or not always Evolutions. There are different variants that consider or just bring out that nostalgic feeling in Pokemon for a lot of different people. All right, so next up, we're going to talk about specifically the Pokemon 151 ETBs, not the Pokemon Center ETBs, the Pokemon 151 Elite Trainer boxes. I've been picking these up here and there as we've been able to get them from distro. We've been able to find these in some of the vending machines here and there. I think a couple times we actually found some of these at Walmart and Target. We were able to get lucky, but I have just been storing these away whenever I find them. We actually really honestly haven't been putting these in the shop just because this is something that I've wanted for my personal collection to sit on for quite some time, because I am a big Kanto person. This is one of the sets that I heavily believe in. I also heavily believe in Crown Zenith. We're going to talk about that one a little bit later as well. But I do think Pokemon 151 just had so many beautiful cards, and not just, the Elite Trainer boxes are going to be like the big selling point because this was a special set and there was no booster boxes, right? So I do think if you wanted something smaller, like a mini booster box, that's going to be your booster bundles, which you see right here, which are going crazy too. But Charizard's moving back upwards again. Just beautiful, iconic artwork. Now, the Charizard's actually not my favorite artwork in the set or my favorite Charizard artwork, but I definitely think that is very iconic amongst people collecting Pokemon right now. To me, my personal favorite in the set is actually the Alakazam and the Zapdos. These are my 2 favorites. I think that this is still very undervalued where it was for a little while. It's starting to make a little bit of a move now. We're going to talk about that card in actually just a little bit, but overall as a set, man, the artwork is just amazing. You can't knock 151. The illustration rares were fantastic. The illustration rares were great, and just a lot of nostalgia for people coming back into the hobby. All right, next we're just going to talk about Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes in general as a whole. There are just so many different ones that I think were fantastic investments, and some of them you were still able to get until recently, actually. They reprinted or restocked the Twilight Masquerade ones very, very recently, and just looking at ones like this, the Obsidian Flames Pokemon Center ETB, all the way up over $240, almost at a $250 price point right now, which is crazy. And obviously that is because of the Charmander promo that comes in this with the Pokemon Center stamp on it. I do believe that realistically that Pokemon Center stamp on these ETB promos now definitely gives you that kind of first edition feel. because they are definitely more limited when it comes to the Pokemon Center ETBs compared to the other ones. So I do think that's the closest thing that we have to a quote-unquote first edition card nowadays. So I do think there's a lot of that. Even Paldea Evolve, which I think was a fantastic set, Pokemon Center ETB selling at $228, roughly around $200 if you're looking at market price, but still listings above $200. And the promo for this one was really good too, with the Paldean starters and Pikachu. And then you have Surging Sparks, which is only a couple months old, guys, and these are already selling for almost $150. Now, you saw a big drop off because people were going crazy on eBay trying to pre-sell these before the set even released. Then they came out, they dropped back down. They're still running up though at $126, and this is really high for a set that just came out. So that's, you know, it's more than 2x what it was when it first came out. Now, I do think because this was the newest set, these still have a chance to get restocked on Pokemon Center as well as some of the other Scarlet and Violet ETBs. But because of the high demand for Pokemon right now, they just get absorbed really quick. So there's really not a chance for any of these prices to drop back down, because as soon as they get purchased, they go real quick, and nobody is trying to race to the bottom on any of this product right now. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Paldean Fates though, but specifically the tech sticker collections. Now, I picked up a lot of displays of these tech sticker collections because these are easy to store. You can get a lot of them. And I do think that this was the one item that people weren't really identifying or really picking up a lot of. I feel like a lot of people were concentrating on Elite Trainer boxes and the 6-pack bundles for the longest time. And it was weird that you were just able to get these almost all the time. So anytime I was able to get them from Distro, we were limited to like one display a week or one display every couple of weeks. I got it every single week, every single couple of weeks that I was able to pick this up, because I do believe in the set. I think that the Bubble Mew and the Charizard are just fantastic artwork cards, but then also all the baby shinies in the set, guys. It is a giant set. Now, because of the heightened demand and more people back in the Pokemon space, there's going to be more people trying to fill master sets. And this set is huge. So trying to fill master sets means people are going to have to either buy a lot of singles or open a lot of packs. And it's starting to dry up. It's being really hard to find now. Even the Gardevoir, which I actually talked about this, I felt like this was a very underrated card when you were able to pick this up for like $38 not too long ago. This card definitely down here in the 30s was a great pickup if you guys were able to pick it up, but already starting to gain a lot of traction. But Paldea Evolve Tech Sticker Collection, something I picked up a lot of. Hopefully you guys were able to get some Paldea Evolve before it really started going like crazy. You can still find the ETBs from time to time on Target and Walmart.com. They do restock them every now and then, so keep an eye on those websites if you guys are looking for the ETBs. So now next, I want to talk about two singles personally I went ahead and picked up, and obviously I picked up a bunch of the Alakazam because I felt like it was super underrated. We were picking these up for the low 30s, high 20s, and then they kind of moved into that like $35 range, and I kept picking them up. So I kept picking up a bunch of the Alakazams, and still we saw plenty of growth from this up into the $42, $45 range. It went back down a little bit to 40, but still, I mean, look at the sales data on this. Already today you see some for 40, you see one for 53. I do think this is kind of an outlier. It's not really matching the other numbers, but there's still 96 listings of this on TCG Players, so it just depends on kind of how many listings show up, if it's going to dry up or if there's going to be so many on the market that people kind of want to drop the price down to get rid of these. But I do believe in the card. I think Alakazam's a great Pokemon. It's a popular Pokemon. The artwork is just stunning on this card, so this is another card that I believed in for 2024 personally. But what was your favorite artwork from 151? Because my other personal favorite artwork was the Zapdos EX. Now, this is another one that I was picking up in the high 30s, low 40s for a while, and I still think that this one does have a lot of room to grow. It's still sitting at that $48 range. There's been a lot of up and down with it. Obviously, because we had the mini tins come out, there was a little bit of a price dip when people were opening a lot of those mini tins from Costco, that big fiasco. And then you had a lot of people selling out. Now, we do have the Blooming Waters boxes coming out, so I don't know what to expect for that. We had some come out early, actually, in Canada already, but we just don't know. Our allocation is really small on that, so I just don't think there's going to be enough of that product to really affect the prices of the singles in 151 too much. I don't think we're going to see more than like a 10% drop in a lot of these cards, and even then, I think that that's still kind of like an overestimation of what I think they're going to drop. I think at that point, once that product comes out and goes, I think at that point, there's no other like quote-unquote reprint for 151 that we know of. I think that a lot of these products, guys, are going to really start running up really hard. I do think the ultra premium collections were also a fantastic pickup. I picked up a few cases of these, even when they were at like 160. We were going through these like crazy. We were picking these up from Costco.com. You didn't even have to go to store. You were just able to order them on Costco's website. They had a lot of them on there. Last year on TikTok Shop, they had these on sale for like $80, $75 during the holidays last year. So hopefully you guys were able to get some of those as well. All right, now the last thing on my list, guys, to pick up, I heavily believe in Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith is my favorite modern set, so yes, I'm going to be very biased with this one, but I do believe that the set as a whole is absolutely amazing. It's taken some time for cards to go up in prices because of how much of this has been available for so long. I do believe that Prismatic Evolution is probably going to get printed equally as much as this, but still heightened demand, more people in the hobby, so Prismatic Evolution is still going to be scarce at first. And Crown Zenith was very scarce at the very beginning. Don't forget, we had a lot of scarcity with Crown Zenith. It was printed into the ground, and it is still being resilient. The set is amazing. The Sea and Sky boxes from Sam's, you guys can still get these from time to time on Sam's Club. They're limit 2 now, but pretty much every week, I would go once a week to Sam's Club. I would go once a week, and if they still had a giant pallet of them, I was picking up anywhere between 10 and 15 of these, and these were just going in the storage, going in the storage, going in the storage. I am a very firm believer of Crown Zenith as a set in the long run. One of my favorite artworks, also the Mewtwo V-Star. I'm a big Mewtwo fan as well. I'm a big Lucario fan, but Lucario was a promo for the Elite Trainer box, which I have an entire binder of those Lucarios, but that's just for a personal collection standpoint. But the Mewtwo V-Star, you got the gold cards. You got Giratina going crazy right now, back up to that $200 range. Back just skyrocketing, almost double like overnight in just like 2 days. Pretty crazy. But I actually think the gold cards in this set were probably the best gold cards that we have seen in the last couple of years. I realistically think the last time I enjoyed gold cards as much as this were back like during the XY era, like the gold Alakazam and the gold Mewtwo cards like that. I think that was the era that I really enjoyed gold cards and didn't like them very much again until we saw these. But even the ETB pluses that came out for the Pokemon Center, these are up to $150 if you're able to get these. Just so many good products. They did a sale not too long ago on the figure collections. I think these were a fantastic pickup. And you can still, guys, find these Crown Zenith ETB sometimes at your local Costco, especially in Canada right now. In Canada, they're still dropping the bundle with the 2 tins and Crown Zenith. We have gotten reports of people seeing that at Costco still. So if you guys live in Canada, keep your eye out for those. It's a good way to get these. I think it's like $70 and you get $70 Canadian or something like that. And you get the Crown Zenith ETB and then 2 tins that contain Paldean Evolve Pack. So I think that's a great mix of product. But I'm a very huge believer in Crown Zenith. So this is going to be the reason why I did this last is I'm very biased to this decision because I just love the set so much. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but just a list of amazing artwork in this set, guys, is just ridiculous. You got the Beasts, you got Glaceon, you got Leafeon. There's just so many good things. And I mean, just look at the artwork in this set, like on the Beast. Like Suicune's just so beautiful. But that's going to be it for me, guys and girls. Hopefully got some good information today. What did you collect in 2024? What are you going to be collecting in 2025? Let me know down in the comments. I can't wait to see you all along our journey in 2025. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and you guys have a happy new year.